everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all well and having a good day. If you're new here, I'm Jo. I do craft videos. I do 3 a week, Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you leave a comment, I will reply. And if you've not subscribed and you want to see more from me, then it'd be wonderful if you joined our family and friends. If you're returning, as always, my friends, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all well and thank you for your continued support. I love you guys so much. So for today's project, Wednesdays is a small project. I wanted to make some miniature tools to go with my birdhouse and my fairy garden houses that I made for my fairy village. And yeah, I'll show you how I made them. I made a brush, I made a spade, and I made a rake. So yeah, we'll get into it. So I'm using my birdhouse as a reference for height, and I'm going to be using wooden skewers for the main bodies of the tools. I'm just going to measure a 6cm strip, and this is going to be the handle for the brush. So I'm going to do the brush first. I'm just going to use a pair of wire cutters and cut this to size, and then I'm just going to check it against the birdhouse to make sure it's the height that I want it. I'm going to be using some string that I got from a shop. I paid £1.99 for 3 balls of it, and this is what I'm going to be using for the end of the brush. I'm just going to measure a 4cm strip, and then I'm going to cut quite a few at the same length, like so. So now I've got my bits for the end of the brush. I'm going to start to glue these to the bottom of the skewer. I'm going to make sure that the bit that I cut, the side that's been cut, is at the bottom and the straight edge is at the top, so that we can hide the bit that we cut with the string. And now I'm just going to glue these in place with a little bit of glue. And I'm just going to work my way around the bottom of the skewer. Making sure that I'm covering all the way around. So I'm going to continue to do that. And here it is once it's covered all the way around. Now I'm just going to split the string in the middle, and I'm just going to add a few more bits in the center just to fill it out a little bit. And then once I've finished adding as much as I want, I'm just going to trim the ends so that they're all straight. And now I'm going to paint the handle to the brush. So I'm just going to use brown acrylic paint. I'm just going to paint the whole of the wooden skewer and let that dry. And now that it's dry, I'm going to just finish off the brush. I'm just using some wire that I've got. I picked this up years ago. I don't even know where I got it from, but it's quite bendy. So I'm just going to wrap this around the bottom of the skewer and then round the top of the string that we glued in place. And then once I'm happy with the amount that I've put on, I'm just going to trim the end. And then to finish off, I'm just going to trim off some more of the string till I get it to the length that I want. And there's our brush. That's the first one done. So now I'm going to make the rake. So I have measured an 8cm piece of skewer, and what I'm going to do now is I'm using a wooden stirrer. These are from Asda and you get them in the party section. And I'm going to cut a 2.5cm strip, making sure that there's a straight edge on each end. So now I'm going to use some cocktail sticks to create the spikes for the rake, and I'm going to measure 1 centimeter strips. I want the pointy ends, so I'm going to get 2 from each cocktail stick, and I'm just going to measure 1 centimeter and then cut these to length. So I've got my 6 spikes and we've got our 2.5 centimeter strip, and now I'm going to glue these in place. So I'm just going to use a pair of tweezers to hold one of the spikes, add a little bit of glue to the bottom, and then I'm going to glue one to the end like so. And then I'm going to take another spike and I'm going to glue it to the other end. I'm going to work from the ends into the middle. So I'm going to glue the rest of the spikes in the center, trying to make sure that there's a same amount of gap in between each one. And then this is what it looks like. And now I'm going to paint the handle for the rake in the same brown that I did the brush. And before we stick the handle to the rake, I'm going to add some wire to the bottom of it. I'm just checking to make sure that it's the same size as the brush. I'm just going to trim it a little bit off. And now I'm happy with it. I'm going to add some wire to the part that we cut, so leaving the straight edge at the top. And now that the wire is in place, I can glue this to the end of the rake. And then once it's glued down, I'm going to paint the end of the rake in a dark grey colour to try and make it look like metal. I'm just going to use a bit of acrylic paint. I'm going to mix black and white. And then the last thing to do is just glue the 2 pieces together. So I'm going to paint the top part of the rake, and then we can get on to making the spade. So to start off with, I measured, I think it was an 8 centimeter strip of wooden skewer, and this is going to be the handle for the spade. And I did end up making it shorter a bit later on to make sure that it was the same size as the rake and the brush. But for now, this is what I'm working with. So I'm just going to cut the wooden skewer, and then with a craft knife at the end that we've just cut, so we've got the straight edge at the top, I'm going to split the skewer in half. So I'm just going to very carefully use a Stanley knife and split the wood. And this is so that we can add the end of the spade in. So now I'm just using a piece of A4 card, and I'm measuring a 2 centimeter by 2.5 centimeter square, and I'm going to cut that out. So now I'm just going to check that I've split the skewer enough, and I did about 1 inch, but like I said, just be careful when doing this. And I'm just going to check that the card fits in nice and neatly, and it does. So now I'm going to paint the card. I'm going to do it in the same colour as the rake, in the grey. I'm going to paint both sides and let that dry. And while that's drying, I can work on the rest of the handle for the spade. So for the rest of the handle, I'm going to be using some cocktail sticks, but I'm going to be gluing the handle to the straight edge of the skewer. I'm just going to take one of the cocktail sticks and I want to get rid of the pointy ends. So I'm going to measure a 2 centimeter width in the middle. I'm just going to mark it with a pen and then cut that. And then I'm just going to glue that to the top of the wooden skewer. And now I'm going to paint this in the same brown as we did before. And then at the top, I'm just going to add some wire, exactly the same way as I did on the brush and the rake. Like so. Now I've added the card in, I've not glued it in, I've just placed it where it needs to be. And then to finish off, I'm just going to add some wire at the top of where the card and the skewer are together. And then they're done, guys. So here they are and I absolutely love them. I can't tell if my favourite is the brush or the rake. I really do like the brush, and yeah, I'm so happy that I made them for my fairy garden, and this is what it looks like when it's propped up against the birdhouse, the little brush. And yeah, I'm super happy with them. So I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you give them a go, let me know. And yeah, I will see you on Friday for my next video. I think I'm going to be doing something with fabric on Friday. So I will see you then. Have a good week. Till then, take care. Love you loads, and bye for now.